Hello, and welcome to this introductory session of mental strength training. This video is just a short intro to what mental strength training is, why it might be important for you, and how you can use this resource. My name's Nicole Glisson, and I'm leading positive education at AIS. And so I'm just going to talk you through some of the things that might be interesting for you in how to use this resource. So, firstly, I think it's always important to think about why. Okay, what is the power and the motivation in using a resource? Why would we bother to build our mental resources, build strength in the way that we're thinking, way that we're being? So, why are you here? I think it's always important for you as students and for parents to think about, well, what is the potential here? So, for our students, I know that you want to do well. You want to succeed. You want to have that sense of thriving in your space, in your subjects, in your creativity, in your interests and activities. And we want to support you in that. You also really want to know how to be most effective in responding to challenge. And there are always different ways that challenge comes up. So, how can you be ready with resources to be at your best when challenge arrives? And when we talk about challenge, it could be small, everyday challenges, or it might be some bigger challenges that you're having to navigate. Also, you want to know that the resources that you're given are actually going to work. So, you want to know that you're given evidence based, well explored, and researched resources so that you can have that sense of knowing that what you're using is going to contribute to building a greater self awareness, a greater sense of confidence, and being able to make decisions that are about self leadership. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about some of those elements as we move on. So, we know that there's so many ways that we can be supported in our well-being, and so many ways that we can be supported in terms of our ability to lead ourselves. And when I talk about lead ourselves, I really am talking about making decisions that helps you to move forward. And there's been extensive research by companies like Gallup who have access to global figures. And a couple of interesting little bits and pieces that I thought might resonate with some of you. In terms of leadership, and I know that so many of you, as you're approaching these final years of compulsory schooling and you're looking at next steps out into the world, many of you are going to be looking at how do you step into different levels of leadership, and whether it's leading a team, leading yourself initially. But many people, including millennials, believe that they aren't being fully developed as leaders by their employees for management positions. And so I think it's our opportunity in these final years of school to look at, well, what can we do to help you have these leadership skills? Now, some of you will have been practicing this through leadership positions in student council, etc., but or teams or different opportunities at school. But we all have the capacity to finely tune our leadership skills. So we're going to look at some of how you can do that throughout this training and these different videos. Also, concepts like burnout are becoming more and more prevalent, and this is not just for young people, but again, Gallup has found, this is Future Forum, found that 48% of 18 to 29-year-olds said they feel drained compared with 40% of their peers aged 30 and up. Okay, so 8% more people in that age bracket are finding the impact of burnout. And it is unfortunately also impacting more females than men as well. So what do we do with those figures? We can look at them and think, well, what are some of the strategies that we can put in place to better be aware of how we're able to look after ourselves and make decisions that ensure that we have the resources to approach times where we might be feeling like we want to overextend, or maybe we can make some different choices and have some boundaries in place. Burnout is described as things like feelings of energy depletion or exhaustion, an increased mental distance from one's work, or feelings of negativity, cynicism related to work, and that sense of reduced professional efficiency, or efficacy rather. So there's a lot that we can do. Now, I always love to hail back to the words of wiser people who have come before us. And I wanted to refer to the words of Seneca, one of the Stoics. And Seneca said, even if some obstacle comes on the scene, its appearance is only to be compared to that of clouds, which drift in front of the sun without ever defeating its light. And I invite you to make of this what you will. But for me, I think of that sense of how temporary the ups and downs of life are. So with that in mind, the wins, the things that go well are fleeting, but also the challenges are fleeting. The moments that come to you and might present some real sort of sense of problem that you have to face, and you know that these things will come and go. But if you have the resources to face those challenges in the best way possible, then that is going to set you up for success as you move forward. So we're going to look throughout this mental strength training program, we're going to look at 3 different areas. Now, the first one that we focus on foremost is about building self-awareness. And from extensive exploration into psychology, positive psychology in particular, but also in coaching work, the ability to be aware of your own capacity to thrive, but also what stands in your way, is going to really set you up for success. So we'll be looking at a number of different elements of some of your internal thinking and responding systems. And I will ask you to reflect. I will ask you questions that challenge you. And really, you will be able to make of this what you would like. Okay, this process of training is for you, and no one can tell you how you should or should not react to any of the videos, any of the questions. So I just encourage you to approach each of the sessions with an open mind and get out of it what you can. But if there are times where you feel a sense of discomfort, question what might be coming up with that discomfort. If you have strong emotions, again, that's not good or bad. It's just giving you a sign that there's perhaps more exploration in terms of that self-awareness that's possible. The other 2 areas that we'll look at are what are some of the strategies that you can use to build self-confidence? And so that, again, is building on that level of self-awareness initially. And then how do we use some of those decision-making skills and that increased self-awareness and confidence to have a real sense of leading from the heart, from the head, staying true to who you are, but it being able to show up as the best possible version of you in situations moving forward. Okay, and the meeting point of those 3 areas is really what helps you to flourish in yourself moving forward. So we will look at 8 different areas, and I'm not going to go into this in detail at the moment. I'm just providing it for you as a little bit of a guide. But I do want you to know that everything that is included in these videos is research-based, it's evidence-based. I've looked at a lot of different sources to find work that has been explored and peer assessed. So what that means is that you can do further research yourself, look at how some of these strategies and tricks and tips can, how you can get more information about them. So with that in mind, I encourage you to use the videos in whatever way you find most helpful. Sometimes people like to go through in order and have a real sense of sequence. Sometimes you might want to dip into videos that the titles resonate with you most significantly. And if that's what you want to do it in any way that you'd like. I do encourage you, as you are using these videos, to write stuff down. So whether it's on your laptop, have a document open, whether it's in a notebook or just in some paper, because there's a real power in taking the information out of your head and just out of your thinking process and putting it down in words. Allows that element of reflection to be much more powerful. But it also means that you can come back to what you've written after a little bit of time and have some fresh insight and think, well, that's how I was responding a little bit of time ago. How am I thinking about it now? So it allows you to build on things. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there for the moment. I hope that you find these videos really helpful. And I'm also always open to any feedback or questions that you have. You just need to contact me. So you can do that through email or come and visit me. Okay, take care and enjoy the process.